take number 7. Oh, and they were all about 10 minutes long. So anyway, I'm here at a hotel which is called Mawson Lakes Hotel in Adelaide, and I just completed my first leg around 800 kilometers from Narre Warren to Adelaide. And of course, this is part of my story that I want to share with you about my move from Melbourne to Katherine, from one teaching position to another. And I think I want to share with you some thoughts as a motivation for you to consider doing the same thing. You don't have to be a teacher. What I'm trying to tell you is that the remote parts of Australia are all in need of specialized workers, specialized people with qualifications and willingness to spend some time somewhere up there in northern Queensland, NT. Not sure about Western Australia, but I guess because all the same, they're kind of remote. So I want to encourage you to consider the same. Now, in my case, I'm 58, turning 59. Changing jobs is, of course, not easy. However, I think my generation is kind of an overlooked generation, because while our parents were mostly these traditional members of society that had a job, and this job mostly for a few decades, we would build their house, and as kids we would grow up maybe at 1 or maximum 2 or 3 addresses, but that was it. Although there were quite a few exceptions already visible in the generation that was born in the 30s due to fleeing from war, being in exile, etc. But mostly, especially in the European context, you just managed to maybe drive with a car to Denmark or France or Spain, or if you had a different background, maybe back to Turkey or Romania or wherever it was. But still, your home was your home, and that was it. However, we, born in the 60s or beginning of 70s, we know and we notice that our kids, for example, have a very different take on the choice of profession, the choice of location, and also the expectancy of the duration of this employment. So maybe we feel it's a bit daring at the stage that we are in our lives to radically change things. But again, think back for a second, and didn't we all love this kind of radical, naive, pack your bag things and do something with your life? So if you can or want to, and your family supports you, and you are able to either take them with you, or they are, like in my case, already adults, if you don't have a house, or you could rent it out, I'm just renting. If you can find a job that covers the financial obligation that usually we in our age brackets have far more of than when we were young, but these jobs in Australia and remote Australia offer a good alternative and enable you for a radical change in your life and to experience something extraordinary. I say this even though I haven't really experienced anything yet. All I'm doing is driving from one hotel to the next. Okay, I'll tell you then how it will unfold. Now, for me, it only came about the last few months to consider to teach. I'm a teacher, teach languages at English, and for me it came about only recently to consider a move within Australia, because normally I was attracted to positions elsewhere overseas. But especially when you're 60 and beyond, you will find it very difficult to apply for lecture positions, teaching positions in Korea, in China, in Japan, because the age limit is 60. The other thing, what I also realized, that financially a lot of jobs are not lucrative enough to make that change, because they wouldn't cover the bills that need to be covered. And if you like traveling and exploring places, within 6 weeks you go to Northern Territory and see the coastal lines, etc., that's fine. But I don't like traveling. I love a professional challenge that lasts longer, and I hope this one is not for a year, but for much longer. It's a permanent position. However, I have arranged, and this is a tip that sort of goes out to you, I arranged for my employer to give me leave without pay to keep my position. But if you're not a teacher and you work in other industries, talk to your boss, and she or he might be able to do the same, find a similar arrangement. So if you do not like it, I don't know what will be up there, then you have that possibility to return. And I don't like the heat and humidity, but this is where I'm going. Let's see how it'll be, and that's why I created this YouTube channel. For those who are not in Australia and would like to apply for positions from their home country, there are a lot of sponsorships going on, and a lot of agencies are really begging for qualified people to dare the move into remote parts of Australia. But a little bit of life experience, a little bit of culture shock experience in other countries, other situations is definitely beneficial. So you're not naive, and you're not going there for a holiday, but I primarily go there for the job and not for the money, and not really for the weather, or not because it's near Catherine Gorge. Because when I was interviewed by my potential new employer, I didn't really know where they were located. My first priority was, what kind of a school is it? Because I wanted to get away from these schools that I've been working for, the big ones with big staff, and I want to have also the opportunity to then work in a different part of Australia after being here for 23 years and not having seen anything else other than Melbourne, really. And so that also made me quite sad. So I'm feeling really excited. And for those who know me, so much so that I started playing Metallica in my car. What's that got to do with anything? I guess that, rock music, going in the outback or something. I felt, I feel excited, of course. Consider this move and think about the things that need to be done, the documentation, everything needs to be translated. That costs money, that takes time. I, for my part, even needed a birth certificate from Germany again in order to get the teacher qualifications, so they can verify my academic credentials. Silly things like that. Of course, if you are coming from outside, then the visa application, the medical checks, etc., that costs a lot of money. But sponsors are around, and sponsors would take care of those things. What else can I tell you? When I then tried to find accommodation in Catherine, that was not easy. Rental properties were very scarce. There were only 20 at the time, And for a single household like myself, there were only, I think, three or four objects of desire, well, 3 or 4 options that were financially also within the scope of doable things. And then you may be surprised that the prices in the north are also very, very high when it comes to accommodation. I'm not going to tell you about the things that need to be serviced for in preparation for, let's say, driving up the car, new gadgets that you want to try, let's say, for example, the YouTube channel. So they would be they would be connected, and it takes time to suss out how do they work, because, well, I found it like the dash cam for my car. It took me 2 hours to really work out how to have access to the videos and how to really see that it's working. So that was quite funny. Anyway, main thing is that you are ready for this kind of challenge, and that you are excited about it. And I just want to tell you that there are opportunities and you should consider it. Well, as for my part, as I said, I'm now here at the Mawson Lakes Hotel in Adelaide, which I review probably tomorrow morning quickly. So far it looks really good. I am very tired. The drive was okay, but the weather wasn't very good, so we had a lot of I had a lot of rain there, thunderstorm, and gushing down. Visibility was really low, and then it was humid, it was warm, so it took quite a while. And I think it's around 800 kilometers from Narre to this place, but I could be 780. So yeah, I'll be going to bed in a second or two. Hope you liked it. Hope you felt like some useful information, and I leave you with a gute Nacht, good night, and tomorrow is the next leg to Port Augusta. Not that far, but still another 5 days to go. Let's keep on going, and thanks for tuning in, and hope you share this journey with me. Thank you and good night.